The energy transition, moving towards more renewable energy, is creating a huge strain on the grid and on everyone's wallets. Retail customers are seeing increased bills due to the addition of costs related to renewable energy. In Germany, households paid 30 cents per kilowatt hour in the first half of 2015, whereas the French only paid 16 cents for the same kilowatt hour. Most importantly, our grids are at risk of becoming unstable, having to absorb an even higher proportion of intermittent supply from renewables and to face the decommissioning of old fossil fuel and nuclear power stations. In developing countries, with an ever-increasing middle class and close to 1.2 billion people without any access to electricity, the demand for clean, affordable power has never been greater. Located in the picturesque Swiss countryside is the Eaton Research and Development Centre, where Eaton and Nissan have been coming up with answers to these challenges. It is here that Eaton and Nissan have developed a demonstration system of an energy storage and control centre that combines an Eaton UPS as the brain of the system and Second Life Nissan Leaf batteries that provide the storage capacity needed. This is not simply batteries and bidirectional inverters which send power to and from the batteries, but instead the creation of multiple capabilities in a single package. This package brings together some great capabilities, providing uninterrupted, high-quality power, integrating renewables directly into the energy supply, storing energy, supplying power off-grid, participating in demand response programs, and injecting energy back to the grid. The Energy Storage and Control Center is programmed to select the optimum mix of power sources according to the load, the grid constraints, and availability of renewable energy. Let's take a look at one example of how this system might be used over the course of a day. In early morning, when renewable energy is not available and the batteries are not fully charged, the Energy Control Center uses the grid to power the load. When the sun is shining and renewable energy is available, the Energy Control Center can power the load or charge the batteries. When the sun is shining and batteries are now fully charged, the Energy Control Center feeds the load directly with renewable energy, thereby lowering energy costs. When it is peak time and renewables produce more energy than needed by the load, the Energy Control Center injects the available energy to the grid. If grid demand is very high, the energy stored in the batteries can also be released to further support peak shaving. The Energy Storage and Control Center, developed by Eaton and Nissan, will really facilitate the wider adoption and deployment of renewable power generation. It'll give people greater control over their energy supply and consumption, help avoid peak charges, give continuity of supply, and will enable increased grid stability and efficiency. And finally, it will reduce the reliance on expensive fuels like diesel, which compensate today for poor grid or no grid situations. Eaton and Nissan. Smart and clean power made simple.